Hey guys, Cam McClellan.
Al Lewison.
Welcome to today's Wealth WOD. We've talked about picking the area, or trying to find a good area. What we look for is, we've knocked out the last one we did was employment generators, so making sure you get in diverse employment. The next thing I usually look for is the proximity of the area to the CBD, or now as our cities are evolving, the activity centres.
How are we doing infrastructure today?
We could do infrastructure if you want, but no, let's roll this one. Infrastructure usually follow last. Oh, cool, we worked that out, guys, that's good.
Sorry.
So if I look for the proximity of the area you're considering, so what you're looking for, we'll start it again. Most people love looking for amenities first, but there's a number of other things you've got to knock out first. Amenities, in most capital cities, you've got them. So I'm going to draw a really big diagram here. This here, that's not a tooth, that's Melbourne. There's a CBD. So yes, pretty bad. But I'm going to use this as an example. So if we consider any area, doesn't matter where it is, pick down here for example. If we're considering investing in an area, draw a line in a straighter line of fashion, missing water, to the CBD, or to one of the activity centres. It can be same from here, doesn't matter where it is, but basically what you're trying to do is establish if there's an oversupply of potential stock that can come into market, being houses with land or apartments, that could potentially take away price growth in the area you're considering.
They'll soak up demand. So if someone can put a development between you and the city that will soak up demand, increase supply, then all of a sudden what happens is the capital growth of your area decreases over that period.
And the reason for that's pretty basic. I think, don't quote me, but I think people move about every 7 to 9 years in their lifetime. That's generally what they move. But let's think about it.
Every 9 years, 7 kilometres.
Everyone wants to move closer to the CBD. It's just the way we are. We always want to move closer to the CBD. Now, I think over the next 10 to 20 years, things will change as the activity centres grow and people become more reliant on activity centres rather than just the CBD. But really, we all love living a bit closer. So that's why I draw the line and I look for any huge chunks of land which can potentially bring thousands and thousands of house lots. Or I talk to council planning and I talk to them, is there huge amounts of apartment supply that's in planning at this point in time that's going to bring on additional stock, and once, as I said, slow down price growth because it's bringing additional supply between that area I'm looking for in that CBD.
So positive for Melbourne, guys, which has happened recently, is Melbourne government, through Guy Matthews, has put a freeze on the growth boundaries of the Melbourne metropolitan area, which means people can't just keep building further and further out. It means that people are capped within that market, need to build and develop within that, which helps increase demand in those areas.
Yeah, and that's a good thing if you think about overseas. So I spent a fair bit of time over in the States a few years back, understanding whether the States would be a good investment opportunity, and we decided, no, Australia's fantastic. Yeah, there's a good tip. But we studied different cities, and what we found was cities with that cap boundary, so the urban growth boundary, once there was an urban growth boundary which was locked, because of the time it takes to rezone an area, so it could be 10, 20 years, the difference between the cities that had an urban growth boundary and those that didn't, the ones that had it, there was good price growth. The other ones, there was sprawl and disharmony, and the price growth was a lot different. So, very good thing there.
So what we were told about, it relates to apartments, guys, but it's a very similar thing about supply and demand, is in a particular area, if someone's building a 10-level building, you buy an apartment in that building, let's just say, which we don't think is a great investment, but let's say you do, the risk you've got, guys, is that right next door, they can build another 10-level building. When that one's built and sold, they can build another one. There never is that pent-up demand that helps increase your price, because guess what? They're just going to buy next door. Yeah. Same thing with this.
Yeah. Anyone who's bought in the Docklands might appreciate that little thing going there.
So, anything else to add to that?
I'm good, man.
Have a good day.
Cheers.